Dear Mimi, Gravel, our very dear friend, Sir Martin Gilbert and Esther, ladies and gentlemen, Marion and I thank you for inviting us. We have always responded to any call that deals with Jewish education. Wherever that call comes from, for whatever reason, and for any time. Why? Years and years ago, I got a telephone call from the Dalai Lama. He wanted to meet me, and I was very moved. For there was a time in my life that I felt close to Buddhism. The Jew in me felt a tremendous attraction to the texts, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Gitas. Being a Bachur Yeshiva, trained for memory, I knew all these texts by heart. Dalai Lama wants to see me, okay? And I said, what can I do for you, sir? And he simply said, look, he studied some of my works. And then he said, your people left your homeland 2,000 years ago, and you are still here. Mine has just left it. But I know it's going to be a long exile. Teach us the art of survival. What I told him, if we have time, I'll tell you later. One thing is clear. What we so poorly call the Holocaust, I say poorly because there is no word for it, is an event, a watershed in our history. There was a before and an after. Strangely enough, the emergence of the State of Israel was almost a logical event. It had to come. For 2,000 years, we were praying 3 times a day, sometimes with tears, others with song. And one day, it had to come. Our longing for Jerusalem was so deep that some of you may know that when it comes to grace, we are supposed to remove the knife from the table. Not simply because symbolically there was never any knife, any iron in the creation and the construction of the temple. No. Our sages were afraid that when a pious Jew would come to this segment where he says, Uvnei Yerushalayim, may Jerusalem be rebuilt, he will be so taken by nostalgia that he would plunge his knife into his heart. A people like that cannot forget Jerusalem. And because that people doesn't forget Jerusalem, we knew one day it will come. The Khurban, the destruction, or the Shoah or Holocaust, was a surprise. Oh, we were used to pogroms. We were used to the brutality of the Crusaders. Even here in England, in the 11th century, you know what happened. Nevertheless, we were not ready for such a tragedy. We know a lot about it now. We now know a lot, thanks to the historians like who is the best, Martin, and his colleagues. We know mainly about the perpetrators. It's good that we know. What moved a nation of cultured people to even invent such an idea of annihilating a whole people? A people which is the oldest